All right. Where is that?
Hey,
boy?
welcome to Courtside with Coach Billy Hahn. Here at the Purple. Oh, at the, hey, I got to plug my plug in for that too.
All right.
Here at the Green Turtle. I know it's a very cold night, and it's frigid temperatures out there. I can't thank everybody enough for coming out and beating the elements to come here tonight. I got my best friend, one of my best friends in life that's a former referee. And I have a saying, 40 years I coached. I always tell everybody, the best referee that I know is a dead referee, but not my man Stan. This guy and I go back way long time. Stanley Rote, my man Stan Rote, he was on my show last year. It was so good. It was such an entertaining and so knowledgeable and did such a good job that I had all these people when I was setting up my show this year. They're going, you got to bring that guy back. You got to bring that funny guy back. You got to bring that guy back, that referee. I said, oh, okay, I'll get him back. I'll get him back. They said, you promise us? You promise? I said, yeah, I'll get him back. So I promised everybody's back. My man Stanley Rote. You drove in from? Where do you live, Stanley?
Yes,
Where you drove in from?
Forest Hill, Maryland.
How long did it take you to drive here?
It's about 249 miles.
I didn't answer my question. How long did it take you to drive here?
Why you gotta ask me them
Well,
hard?
that's just like
why
a
you got? Why you gotta
that's
ask
just
me
like
them
a
hard coaches?
That's just like a referee. You ask him a question.
It's a 4-hour drive.
4-hour drive?
But if I stop and have a cup of soup somewhere, maybe a little more.
Speaking of soup,
Having made that trip many times,
Yeah.
my pal, many
and
times.
you have relatives in Fairmont.
Oh,
You're from Fairmont.
they snuck in here on me.
They did?
Yeah, there's my niece.
That's your
Renee.
niece? Renee?
And there's Joycey.
Yeah.
And there's Renee's husband,
Right, right.
Professor Ledon from the University of West Virginia.
Yep. And here's my wife.
And there's him. Boy,
Look at those guys.
Are you
right
going
there.
home? You got to
Are you
stay
leaving?
5 more
Oh, my
minutes.
goodness gracious.
Oh, I was going to ask you some questions.
And don't tell me you guys got to go to bed because
Okay.
there's no school tomorrow.
I'm going to give
It's
you
already
a
been
test.
canceled. Got you, man. I got
Now I'm going to tell you something that you never heard before in your whole life. I'm so old that I used to referee girls' ball. Okay? Now the girls' rule, when I first started doing refereeing in the 50s, 1950, the girls could only dribble the ball. Do you know how many times? 3 times. They could only take 1, 2, 3, and they had to stop. Is that weird? Now, and then for them to get from here to the basket, can you imagine how many 3 dribbles? So they had to go dribble, dribble, dribble. They give it to the other girl, dribble, dribble, dribble. They might not even be at half court then. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Okay? Now, if this poor little girl was over here and she was just standing, minding her own business, and dribble, dribble, dribble came, and now she's standing there, she's not moving, she's not doing nothing. Bingy, bingy, bingy. 3rd dribble, and she bumps her. Who's the foul on? The foul's on her. Oh, that's not the end of it. This is a nightmare when you try to get a boy to play girls' ball, right? So, because they don't do really good with math, they dribble 4 times. You got to take the ball away. You know what? You know what I mean? So now we go dribble, dribble, dribble. Now this girl's really good. Well, they got the foul. They got the foul. It's a dumb foul. She didn't do anything. She was just standing there. The irony is that referees do the same stuff this year. So the girls make a basket, and everybody goes, yay! You know what we do after they make the basket? They take the ball, and they bring it all the way here, and we have a jump ball. After every basket, we have to have a jump ball. Is that weird? See, that's something you never knew. So you got a grandma somewhere.
Ask your grandma, that's right.
You got a grandma somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're lucky, you got 2 grandmas still. So you got to ask her grandma if she ever played basketball. And you just go up to her and you go, Grandma, I know something. Did you ever play basketball? And if they say yes, say, I know when you play basketball that you could only dribble 3 times. And then when you made a basket, you would have to have another jump ball. Did you ever have a jump ball? And if she says, oh, yeah, I had some, that means she made some baskets. And you should then look at Grandma and say, I love you, and give her a big hand of applause. Will you do that for me? All right, guys, be safe on the way home.
See you. Take care. Have a good one.
All right, guys. I'll be looking at you, boy.
All night
Don't
long.
hide behind that chimney on me. I got you.
Yeah. So you talked about your nieces. I got to talk about my wife for a minute. You know, she's here in the audience. My wife, Kathy.
Kathy the fighter, man.
The fighter.
Kathy's a fighter.
Ovarian cancer, leukemia, back to back.
Yeah.
We just got back from Charleston.
Three sisters.
We just came back from Charleston. We were down there for the American Cancer Society as spokesman.
Awesome.
I went to the state legislature today, and we had a basketball game last night, a benefit game last night, and I coached one of the teams, and I coached the Republican team last night.
Oh, man.
And we won by 21. And I got up. You'll love this, Stan.
The fix was in. The fix was in.
Stan, you'll love this one. So it's the beginning of the second half, and I get up and I yell to my guys on the floor, "Let's build the wall! Let's build the wall!" and everybody in the crowd, my wife's sitting next to him, and they go, "What's that? Is that a play they're running?" He said, "No, that's the Republicans. They're building the wall."
Oh, don't talk. I'm not
and,
going to talk.
Hey, and I got to keep signaling people out. Jeremy Posey. Jeremy Posey's in the house.
Great supporter.
Yeah, big time.
Erie man, right? Your hearts are in the right place.
Absolutely.
And it hasn't been there like just recently. It goes way back in the 90s, early 90s.
And a good friend.
You've been around and you climbed the ladder and you had to fight the big guys. Yeah. Good hands with this guy.
Yeah.
When all your neighbor here and that guy.
Exactly.
You come a long way. You know why? Because you're a blue-collar country. Your company is a blue-collar hard worker. When a farmer calls you and something happened with the barn, you get in a car and you go tell him what's going on, and you make him relax, and you fix it. You don't think, well, maybe you got to call New York and see if you got an estimate, and you get your money. The man paid his money on the barn for 36 years, and now he had a storm, and they're going to hassle him. He never had one claim. Right? That's why you guys win. Because you know you do the right thing. Boy, if I could tell people, just in your life, do the right thing, and you know what's right and wrong. And you guys have been right for a long time, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Plus your good work raising money for cancer.
Yeah.
Right?
He does everything.
I had a privilege to do that at Westchester and Fairmont for Hugs' mom, and we raised some money for
They're having
him,
their big event this Friday night. Is Hugs' fish fry. He's got Jerry West coming to town.
Oh, man.
Jerry West is a guest.
Yeah.
And Jeremy is going to hook up with Jerry and make a lot of money for the Norma May Foundation. Hugs has raised so much money with that situation. It's unbelievable, man. And
good things.
Anybody that still has a chance, you can still get a ticket for that event. So, exactly, $125 for a ticket, entertainment all night long, all the fish you can eat, and a bunch of other good stuff for $125. Many, many, many unbelievable auction items that they get, they sell to raise money. Big time people there. A lot of people you like to rub shoulders with. It's a big time event, and I highly recommend it. So, yeah. Then not last but not least, another guy got to single out my man Rocky Simmons. Look, hey Rock, what's up, dog? Yay! Hey Rock, the Rock's here every week. I know he came out tonight in this weather. You know, the Rock's a good man.
Yeah,
The Rock, you know.
the
he's
roads.
He's the Rock.
He's Rocky. I
a
don't mess
busy-
around with a guy named Rocky.
Now, you know what? You got to watch out for those Rockies, right?
It is unbelievable what's going through my mind right now with this cancer issue, because it's that pernicious disease has affected my family in so many ways.
Amazing.
And I will do anything I can. I got to think seriously about staying here and going and seeing the guys Friday and making some donations, because Jimmy V, right? Jimmy V gets cancer, and I'll tell you a little Jimmy V story.
Yeah.
But first of all, I want to tell
how
you
many-
the story.
How many games did you ref at Jimmy V's games? How many, Stan?
Dozen or so.
Doesn't Jimmy V when he's at NC State?
Oh, yeah. How
probably-
about the NC State-Kansas game on Super Bowl Sunday?
How about that?
Oh,
You were in
yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
I tell him
my mother-in-law
now
loved
give
it.
him a little Jimmy V stories.
All right.
I know you got 'em.
Before, I'm going to tell them about you,
All
and then I'll tell the story.
right. Make sure you.
I got a call from a guy and said, I got an assignment for you. I said, what is it? He said, Ohio University and Ohio State in the NIT at Ohio U. Would you like to work the game? I said, when is it? I checked my calendar, and I was open, and I said, yeah, I'll be glad to do it. He said, Stan, it's going to be a regular game. I said, why? He said, these guys have not played each other, Ohio U, Ohio State. Now, you know what that's like. That's like having North Carolina State. For some reason, the college that has just the name and the college that has state, why do they think state is like JV and this one's varsity? And that means politically, their classes, the campus, the people, the pickup truck versus the Lexus, cheese versus Budweiser, whatever you want to tag it with, it's there. I said, well, he said, in addition to that, they just fired the Ohio State coach. Remember his name?
I do. Eldon Miller. Eldon Miller. Yep.
He said, well,
Yep.
he said, who you want to go with you? So I picked two guys. Who do you want to go with you? So I picked two of my younger friends. It's going to be a tough game. It'll be a good experience for them. Right? So I'm big time in it now, right? I'm in the ACC. I'm on TV 3 nights a week, and Nike gave me a suit, a bag with wheels on it, and they gave me
You're big time.
dress pants. And,
You're big time.
And what do you call it? The stuff you got on that they gave you. What is this?
I don't know.
Well,
Dry fit,
and
dry
you
fit.
go through the airport,
Yeah.
and you got Nike all over you. Nike. Your shoes are Nike. Your pants are Nike. The jacket's Nike. The bag is Nike. And you're supposed to be unobtrusive as you go through the airport, and it's like, and one of the wheels is screwed up, and it click, 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 and everybody in there waiting for the light. They go, look, oh, he's from the ACC. Oh, he's from the ACC, and I'm ducking because I got to hide somewhere. Because as soon as I sit down, somebody's going to come by and say, "What's Mike Krzyzewski like?"
Yeah, exactly right.
And they ask you the
Exactly.
stupidest questions.
Yeah.
And to me, oh, he's fabulous.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Absolutely,
fabulous.
absolutely.
You don't be smart enough to say
Yeah.
anything bad about anybody,
Yeah.
right? So I said, we're going to fly to Columbus. So we fly to Columbus, and I said, we're going to go there the night before, and we're going to stay at this hotel at the airport, and we're going to rent a car and drive to Ohio. Don't ask me. I didn't check the map. I should have been to Pittsburgh and got the car and just drove over, right? But at any rate, I have this conference, and I got these two young referees, and I'm saying now, the coach from Ohio State just got fired. He doesn't need to be punished anymore, okay? But Ohio U hasn't played him for a long time, and Ohio U is going to want to smash him. The green against the red. I remember their colors.
The green against the red is right.
Now, I go rent a car, and it's the same old crap. When you go to the airport and you didn't have a reservation, We don't have one of these. We don't have one of these. We don't have one of those. He said, but we have a Lincoln. I said, a Lincoln? He said, we'll give you the comedy price on the Lincoln. So I get this big 4-door Lincoln. And he said, oh, by the way, it has a telephone in it. Oh, okay. So we're at the hotel. We have a lunch, and I'm talking to the guys about the game. We're going to work hard. We're going to work hard. Okay? And this is what we're going to do on a press. And if they double team here, we'll do this. I spent 3-4 hours with them. Then we went to bed. Got up, had breakfast. We get into the Lincoln. Got to make sure we got your bags. You don't want to leave the hotel and leave your bag there and your shoes and whistles are there. That has happened to referees. So we jump in the car. Here we go. I'm driving. Does that telephone work? I don't know, but they'll probably charge us extra if we use it, so don't use it. We don't have those phones you got now.
Exactly.
Right? So we're driving, and I said, damn, that's the Ohio River. Allegheny, Monongahela, this river here that goes north to Pittsburgh, meets up there and makes the Ohio University. It's near the river. Holy hell, we could have got there. We didn't have to come to Columbus. And I look and I see Parkersburg, West Virginia. Get out of here. Yeah. So I don't tell them that. So we're about 5 miles from the gym. There's green balloons tied to every tree, every window. Kill the Buckeyes! Smash the Buckeyes! Right? And we drive in. We're into the parking lot. And this parking attendant, I pull in and I say, excuse me, sir. He said, y'all are the referees, aren't you? I said, yes, we're here with 3 plastic whistles to settle this war. Can you tell me where I can park this fine vehicle? He said, right there in the front door. So we pull in, and I hear this noise. And it's the Ohio State Band. And then about 2 seconds later, I hear, that sounds like too many horns. It was the Ohio Band. It's 5 o'clock. The game's at 7:30, and the gym is packed.
Unbelievable.
There's no parking places.
Unbelievable.
And the bands are pissed off at each other. And I said, the bands are fighting, guys. It's going to be a good one. So we go in the locker room. Oh, Ohio U had nice towels for us with our names on
We did,
it.
didn't we? We
with
did.
my name.
We did.
Road,
Yeah.
man. I said, awesome. And in walks a guy from the NIT who was a coach at Wagner. He said, this is going to be something, guys. I said, yeah, I know it is. So we settle down. We do our exercises. We go over it. We get up on the floor. Band's still going. And here comes the Ohio State coach.
Who just got fired.
He looked like a
Who was a
librarian
very nice
to
guy.
me.
Very
a
nice
nice,
guy.
calm guy.
Very nice guy.
And I shook his hand and I said, Coach, I'm sorry. I said, but tonight, I'm going to work so hard. And if this is your last game ever, it won't be a bad one for us. Because between your team and his team, my team's going to be the best team tonight, okay? So don't be upset. And I said, good luck. And he smiled. I tried to cheer him up, but he was depressed. So I go to Ohio State. Who's sitting on the bench? This guy's sitting on the bench. He's the assistant coach. And the head coach was Danny Nee.
That's right.
A kid from New York, Danny Nee. Tall, skinny Danny Nee.
Yeah.
And Danny Nee said, Stan. Yeah. Danny Nee said, Stan, oh, it's so good to see you. And Danny hugs me. And I said, man, Danny, don't be hugging me out here.
Exactly.
Right? I don't know him. I don't shake his hand. I don't say nothing to him. I don't talk to assistant coaches, usually. So we work the game. It is a killer. It is a killer game. They had a point guard on Ohio State who broke his leg. Not in that game, the next week. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
like, bing, bam, boom, foul, boom, 1-on-1, bing, bam. I said, guys, first time out. I can't hear your whistles. Blow the damn thing.
Couldn't hear it.
Pow, pow. I said, I can't hear it. So get some air in the whistle. So we're working. Game's over. Ohio State beats them at the last possession, and it's a 1-point game. We get into the locker room, and I can tell you, this is taking you into the catacombs of officiating. When a referee referees that hard with love and energy, there's nothing left. When coach tells us player there can't be anything left, we had nothing left. We were like
Exhausted.
dish rags,
Yes.
right? I said, you know what I said? Did I miss that walk call on that kid?
I hear you.
That's the first thing I said. Did I miss that
Did I
walk
miss that
call
call?
on that kid?
Yeah.
He said, I don't think so. I said, I don't know. Damn it, it's bothering me. Good referees always worry about calls they missed. The real good referees only miss 1 or 2 calls the whole game. In the ACC, if you miss 3, they will fire you. They look at the tapes. So I'm feeling good about it. We go back, we go get home. About 4 days later, I get this cassette in the mail. VHS, what do you call them? The VHSs?
Yeah. Tape.
It's from him.
I sent it to you, didn't I?
He sent me one. He sent my partners one.
I sent it into each one of them.
But I didn't know. I didn't know him. And I open it up, and it's a cassette. This, one of those 8-inch jobbers.
Yeah.
I didn't plug it in, and it's printed on there. And Ohio State, Ohio 2, 19 whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a letter in there from this guy. Dear Stan. I'll clean it up. Dear Stan, I've been watching this damn tape for 16 hours because that was one of his jobs, to break tapes down and all that. He said, I can't find one damn thing on here that was wrong. He said, I looked at a lot of tapes in my life. I ain't never seen one like that where you guys didn't miss one call.
Best game ever.
And
The best referee game ever in 40 years that I coached.
that's a wonderful compliment. That's a wonderful compliment.
And that's true. I made a tape, and I had to send each one of you guys the tape because that was a classic game with crazy fans, atmosphere unbelievable, 2 very good teams, 2 very good coach teams, and the refereeing was absolutely phenomenal. And Stan, that's why our relationship has always been the best ever, because I know how it started.
Yeah, and after that, I knew you trusted me.
Yes.
And that's the best thing that could happen between a coach and a referee. And you have to be in some wars. I think it's like
Yeah.
a soldier that's in a war, and he gets through the war with his partners. That's a thing of beauty, and it stays forever.
Right.
So I refereed with Danny when he was in Nebraska, and he said, "Oh, it's good to see you again." Because I went to Nebraska, and he was then coaching Nebraska.
You know what's crazy, Stan? I continued during my career. I continued to always have a relationship with referees during the summertime
At
when
the camp?
there's no pressure on anybody, and everybody, you guys are at the camps, coaches are at the camps. I've been known through my whole career, fellas, let's go have a couple cold beers tonight at so-and-so place, and who'd show up? Be me and about 4 or 5 referees.
Yeah. You're a pretty good joke teller. You want to buy a toothbrush?
Exactly right.
I remember the joke.
All my jokes, right? So I had a great relationship with referees because I got to know them, and they got to know me.
We liked you a lot.
And, I could talk. And when I was here with Hugs, the 10 years I was here, I always believed. I worked with Bob Huggins, Hall of Fame coach. Gary Williams, who's a tough
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame coach. All right? I worked with two guys, and both guys coached so hard,
Yes.
and they were so intense, both guys, that I felt that I was the good cop. They were sort of the bad cop at times, my entire time. So I was always the good cop, and I would
Good cop, bad cop.
good cop, bad cop, and I was always the good cop. And Gary Williams and Bob Huggins were sort of the bad cop at times, and I talked to players. I was a good cop; they were the bad cop, and referees the same thing. So I ain't gonna lie to you.
And it's in
I
my
ain't gonna lie to you, Stan. They miss me right now because they don't have the good cop around no more. I'm just telling you.
maybe.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, man. Just telling you.
Well,
You know what?
when you said
Yeah,
camps
see,
and hugs,
technical foul right there. Boom.
oh, I didn't give many of.
How many did you give out? Not very many.
I never had to eject a coach.
No, you never reject anybody?
Never.
Yep, that's why you're the
That's
best.
just a quick story on how
Yeah.
close I came. This coach called a guy a curse word that has two initials, an M and the rest you know. My partner didn't hear it. And I said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Oh, no, but I did." And I whacked this coach. He takes 2 steps out on the court, and I say, "If you take one more step, I'm chucking you out of here, pal." This coach was so smart. He stood there frozen. He's coaching American University. He stopped, and he had his team pick him up under the armpits. It was halftime, and take him in the locker room. Now, you ain't going to hear that story. I was so angry. He takes a step. I tee him, and I say, "Take one more step, and I'm throwing you out of here." He froze just like this. Come on. He pits 2 schmucks. They pick him up under the armpits, turn around, and take him to the locker room. I get in the locker room, and I say to my partner, "You have had to hear that. You got to take care of business. That you don't do that. He's out of here. Please don't throw him out. Please don't throw him out." I said, "He's out of here." I'm trying to cool off. We got to go back out. This guy was one of my best friends. He said, "The reason I don't want you to throw me out is I have to go back there Monday, and I'm trying to get into the league, right?" And he talked me out of it. That's the only time I ever had a chance, but I didn't do it.
Good for
Right.
you.
And
Good for you.
it's coaches they're human beings. So I want to tell you the story about Huggins in West Virginia, and I'm going to tell you something about West Virginia basketball that you never heard in your life. So when you come out here on this bad night with all this ice, there's nobody. Yes, there is. Gail Catlett knows. The paper man and the old Dominion, whatever that paper
Dominion,
is.
yeah,
The guy that died, he knows about this.
Right.
It's about the West Virginia St. Joe game in the Palestra.
West Virginia St. Joe's.
Now let me introduce it by saying to you,
Now listen to this.
in the game of basketball, there's never anything that ever happened to any basketball teams that happened to West Virginia that day. Because I was there. It was a nightmare. We're in the Palestra in Philadelphia. The Palestra is as renowned as the New York. The Garden, as they call it in New York.
Yeah.
The Garden.
Palestra.
When you're from Fairmont, West Virginia, and you end up refereeing in the Garden, it makes you feel pretty good because that's a long-ass ride. And not too many people get to go to the Garden. But at any rate, I'm in Philadelphia, and it's a doubleheader. There's 6 referees in the locker room. I do the first game with a cop, a policeman, Ernie Cage from
Ernie
Washington,
Cage.
D.C.
Absolutely.
Ernie Cage, great basketball player at Mount St. Mary's. When we worked games in the Atlantic 10, when West Virginia was in Atlantic 10, there'd be a timeout and Ernie would shoot jump shots. The referee was shooting jump shots during the TV game. He was unbelievable. Love him. Dutch Shample was a bartender from Pittsburgh that had a bar. So the 3 of us are in the Palestra. Got time?
Yeah.
So
You got all kinds of time. You got
we're
plenty.
refereeing a game. It's a ball buster. It's terrible. It's so old, that game, they got the shot clock on the floor. It's a little 12 by 8 box. Remember that in the corner?
Yeah.
It's on TV, so there's a lot of cables laying around. And West Virginia's in it. And Catlett's coaching against a guy, and they hate each other. And the place is packed. Philadelphia Palestra, go see a basketball game there. It's a great place. Tom Gola's pictures in there. It's wonderful. So it's West Virginia's down by 1. Look at the clock, 4-point-some seconds. Now take a look at me now. I'm on this end of the basketball court under this basket. West Virginia gets the ball, and West Virginia got to go down court to win this game. Is this on?
Yep. Go ahead.
Immediately, I say, it's been good so far. We're not screwing this up. I take the shot clock, and I go over the corner, and I kick the shot clock off the court because there ain't no shot clock now, right? I go to the other end, and there's this bird behind me going, wah, wah,
That's the
and
St. Joe.
And the
The
feathers
St. Joe Hawks.
the feathers are coming off. And I turned around, and I said, get that chicken out of here. And the St. Joe kids, smart Catholic kids, they start chanting, he's not a chicken, he's a hawk. He's not a chicken, he's a hawk. And I go, yeah, a chicken hawk. Right? Right. So I get the TV cables and I push them out because I know that West Virginia kid, they had made a basket so he can. That's a rule that you learned tonight. When a basket's made and I get it out of bounds, I can run the baseline. I can run the baseline, and if my partner guard jumps out of bounds, I can even throw him the ball, and he can throw it back to me. There's what you learned today, right? So I'll make sure that if he's taking off, he ain't going to be tripping on them wires. Now, Dutch is over here in the backcourt. My cop friend's over there. I'm thinking in my mind, it's just important. Guy comes over from West Virginia. I said, you can run. Don't be tripping on stuff. I'll get you the stuff, right? So I give him the ball to make the throw in. He turns around. He throws it. Pow, like a center, like Willie Mays, tagging somebody at home. Whew, the ball's flying. At the top of the key in the front court, this guy jumps from West Virginia, and he volleyballs the ball. He doesn't catch it. He goes up, and he bats it to the guy in the corner. And I'm coming down the court. I think I'm cool. I don't have to referee. There's two guys are there. I'm coming, right? This guy that batted the ball turns around, jumps to the basket. The ball arrives. He dunks it, and the horn goes. So the pass comes, and it goes bing, bang. And my partner goes, good basket, good. I said, whoa, I was in the jump circle. That's all. Only had 3 seconds left. We go in the locker room. West Virginia wins by 1, right? No. We're in there. We're congratulating each other. Tough game. All of a sudden, somebody starts kicking the door. Bam, bam, bam. You cheating, expletive. Bang, bang. Now, there's other 3 referees who got the next game. Jackie Hannon from Boston and a kid named Kelly from Philly. My boss, who signs the referees, goes out to talk. He comes back in and he said, that basket West Virginia made is no good. I get nervous now. I said, what? He said, that basket's not good. We're going to go into the locker room and tell Coach Catlett that he lost. I said, the hell you are. And we argue. And he points to my 2 partners, and I can see my partners folding. And I said, this is wrong. You can't do this. The game's over. But there's no law about the game being over. That's another story. So I ain't going. My boss takes my 2 partners, leaves there, goes to the West Virginia locker room, and tells them at Gail Catlett that they lose. So they changed the score, and St. Joe wins by 1. I'm sitting in the locker room.
How'd that go over?
I got my pants off. I was getting ready to go home. I can't believe that they just changed the score after the ball game was over. Now my boss comes in, and I go, I don't believe you did that. I'll tell you later. He did. You cannot talk to the press. You cannot talk to a lawyer. You can't say anything. I said, really? Yeah, and if you do, I'll take all your games back. And I looked at Dutch, and I looked at Ernie, and I went, I don't believe this crap. He said, and you can't leave. You got to stay in here till the other game's done. So I have to sit there and wait till the other game's done. It's been a nightmare, right? So I'm getting ready. I go home. West Virginia won the game, and then they lost the game. I'm going to take his hearing aid out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm riding home to go see my wife, and I'm, Patty, you don't know what just happened. What? The West Virginia game, the kid made a basket, we called it good, and my boss came in and changed it, and West Virginia lost. And I got a game at West Virginia on Wednesday. I'm not a happy camper. So my boss calls me, and he said, I looked at the schedule, and you got Massachusetts and the Mountaineers on Wednesday. I'm taking you off the game. I said, the hell you are. You're not taking me off that game. He said, well, because of what happened. I said, everything that happened was because of you. Okay, I'm going to Morgantown Wednesday. Now, that's Saturday night after the game. Now Sunday comes up. Ring. Stan, Dick Vitale. What the hell happened at the police? I said, Dick, I can't talk to you about it. I have to be sworn. The man's going to take all my games away. He said, well, that's bullshit. You know that. I said, yeah, but I can't tell you. I can't. Psh, brrr, ESPN. Stan, what happened there? I said, I can't talk. I can't talk. So Sunday around noon, the real boss, the commissioner, Charlie Theokas, who used to be the AD at Temple, calls, and he said, Stan, what happened? In the meantime, all the bookies that made bets paid off. First, they paid off West Virginia, and the guy scratched around, took off, and then they changed it to St. Joe. So they had to pay 2 times. I don't know that till later. I tell Charlie the whole story, and he said, thank you. Hey, see right? I can read your lips. I said, man. So he hangs up. 15 minutes later, ESPN, national news, the West Virginia St. Joe game. West Virginia won the first of them, then St. Joe won. The St. Joe did not win. West Virginia is the official winner. Yay! Now, you'll never, ever have that happen in a basketball game again because my boss was a cheater. He didn't like West Virginia. Now, this story ain't over. I go to Morgantown. It's the first time they see me since that crap in the Palestra. The first basket of the game was made, and the kids had signs on. Was that one good, Stan?
Was that one good, Stan?
Every time they made a basket.
Was that one good,
Was
Stan?
that one good, Stan? Do you remember that?
Oh.
Huh? Oh, it was brutal. But I worked the game. Now, that is a historic event. If you learned anything tonight, not too many West Virginians. Old guys remember. You remember the game? No, he's nobody there, see? Oh, oh, wow. Nightmare. And now the next story, because we got a couple minutes.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
What? We never used it.
No.
We had no monitors. Because he just didn't want West Virginia to win. He was a cheater. Right? So, tell you the Hug story. Catlett's still coaching. Hug is coaching Cincinnati. I'm in the tournament. I worked 15 NCAA tournaments. I'm in Boise, Idaho. Okay? I'm in Boise, Idaho. It's the second round. West Virginia is now playing Cincinnati to go to the Sweet 16. I call the office and I say, I said, I'm from West Virginia. I've had problems in games. I don't want to referee that game. I don't need to referee that game. Let me put on the Rhode Island Xavier game. Because there were 2 games. That's Saturday now. I go golfing in Boise, Idaho in March. So the game is Sunday. I go to the game. Call Stan, you're on the West Virginia-Cincinnati game. Thank you. I know they called Catlett, and I know they called the other guy, okay? You don't think anything's going to happen with West Virginia. It's not going to involve controversy with me. Catlett hates my ass. So at any rate, I shake their hands, and I say, they never seen so many Mountaineers in Boise, Idaho, guys. Good luck. Another barn burner. This one, why is it that West Virginia recruits people named West?
How about that?
They find anybody that can play its West. He could be from Puerto Rico. He could be from San Antonio. It doesn't care. If his name's West, we're going to recruit him.
Yeah, we got one right now.
Right? We have one now, and we had one then. And
exactly.
The only difference is one's white, the other guys were African American.
Exactly right.
Okay?
Yeah.
8 seconds.
8 seconds.
Hey, pay attention, guys.
8 seconds.
8 seconds left. West Virginia got the ball. Boom, 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 boom. The kid lets it fly from about 28. Boom, 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 boom. And he happens to be named West, but he's black. He makes the shot. I ring it up. Bing. The West Virginia kids are so happy they're jumping on the floor, and they come out on the floor. My partner has the ball underneath the basket. There's 2 seconds left in the game. And he looks at me, and I go,
no, don't think about
that's
doing
the signal. We ain't teeing these
Don't
guys
think
up.
yeah.
No, we're not. So we don't. Cincinnati gets the ball. Cincinnati loses. West Virginia wins. We got in the locker room. The referee said, wait till Huggins gets your ass on that thing. He said, we ain't going nowhere. We got to advance in the tournament. He said, this game's going to kill us. I said, I thought we did pretty good. So Huggins gets into the microphone with this big blue curtain around him.
Yeah.
And he said, there's this little weasel paper guy, and he goes, Coach Huggins, there seems to be a discrepancy about what happened with your team today. 2 weeks ago, you were playing Tulane in New Orleans, Louisiana, and your team, Cincinnati, made a basket at the lower end of the game, and your team came out on the floor in Tulane, and they teed the Cincinnati team up. Tulane went to the free throw line, made 2 free throws, and you lost the game by 1. Now, doesn't this circumstance look identical? Hug says, sometimes you get that call. Sometimes you don't get that call. Today, the referees had nothing to do with who won or lost this game.
Yeah.
Now, this is little homespun stuff. Hugs was born in this town. Okay? I'm going to tell you another secret. He was born in this town. He played at this school. He loves this school. Okay? And he's going through a very, very, very rough time right now. It's easy to criticize. Your grandmother made apple pies for 65 years. You're going to have guts enough to say in front of her at a Thanksgiving dinner that this apple pie doesn't taste right and it's not good? No. She knows how to make an apple pie. Hugs is the 3rd winningest coach coaching today.
Yeah.
And the only guys that are ahead of him were coaching for 40 years at the same school. Syracuse, Boeheim, okay? Yeah. And who's the 3rd one?
Krzyzewski.
Who? Mike Krzyzewski. Dude, 28 years.
Right.
28 years. Okay? So,
Yeah, right now. Yeah, we're going to sign off.
Okay,
Mountaineers
ready?
are getting ready to come on.
Remember the
Whoop.
West Virginia story. Give the coach a little love.
Yes.
Don't think he's like Grandma. He is like Grandma. He knows an apple pie when he sees it. He knows basketball when he sees it. Just be patient with him. Now, here's why. If you want to make a great soup, you go to the supermarket and you get a steak and you get an onion and you get a carrot and you get some celery. You get the best they got. You go home to make the soup, right? And you got all these great ingredients and you know it's going to be a good soup, so you're cooking. That's just like basketball. You'll go get a point guard, you get a shooter, you get a rebounder who are really good, and we're going to make a soup with them guys. But guess what? When you tasted your soup, you go, this ain't right. But the ingredients are the best ingredients we had. It don't work. That's like basketball. You don't know what's in those. They're 18 years old. You see that kid from Duke? He's 275 pounds. He dunks 360 around. He's 18 years old. Come on. You're going to coach a bunch of 18-year-olds? It's difficult. I just wish the town would give the coaches the love they need because everybody's depressed. It's cold outside. We ain't winning, and we got a game to play. We'll talk about it next time around. Let's go, Mountaineers.
Hey, thanks for coming out. We'll see you next week right back here at the Green Turtle. You can see this on DominionPost.com. Thank you, DominionPost.com. Thank you, Green Turtle. See you next week. See you later. Thank you. Bye.